So the last time I saw my grandmother, she asked if she could pay for me to stay. And I said, no, Granny, I can't. I have so much stuff that I need to take care of, And my aunt, who was standing, a little bit behind her, I believe she was the one who actually asked her to ask me to stay. And he kept thinking, that I couldn't do it on my own. Like I was really going to really suffer behind not being around the family members. But when I had to look back at my papa, my grandmother's father, and how they could not understand why it is that I did so much crying when he passed away. People shed tears for so many reasons. And one of the reasons why I cried so hard is because he was one of the last people who were alive who truly cared. It was like the sacrifice was supposed to be that fire. And they didn't care about the three people who were going to be in that fire. It was going to be my brother and my papa and myself. Insurance was taken out on all three of us. So that if that fire were to happen, if the firemen did not get there and take care of us, that would have been it. But they didn't mind making the sacrifice because that was going to be an inheritance. That money was going to elevate them and help them move into a new house. You see, you never know what another person's reasoning is for doing the things that they do. But when God wants you to know something, you could either dream it or there'll be something, that the answers will come. It might even come by you turning on the radio and hearing a song, and certain information will develop based upon that. It'll change your whole thought pattern. You know why? Because when you listen to a song and you go into that song and you really start listening to the words, your thought pattern now changes. God gives us answers in so many different ways. When you're praying and you're asking for guidance, rest assured that guidance will be provided, especially when you have a forgiving heart, a loving heart. Love is the highest vibration, and people forget that. Love would not guide you to hurt another person or to hire another person to take another person out. People are talking, and they speak of how is it that people have the protection that they have. When you can love deeply and you can love God, oh, by the way, happy Easter. The sacrifices that were made for us and for people to still be plotting around this time, such a spiritual time, is really questionable. A lot of people doing things behind the scenes. Again, when you put other people in another person's energy and you think that they're going to try to take energy sources from that individual, you got to also realize that the person who they're trying to take from is also picking up on certain frequency as well. Now that might go over some people's heads, but the truth is that if you were plotting to do something good, if you were planning to help people, your outcome would be so different. You see, when we practice to deceive, we don't gain from that. There are a lot of people worried right now about what tomorrow is going to bring. They would not be worried if they had only gone to God. There was this cartoon we used to watch, Woody Woodpecker, and he said, if Woody had only gone to the police, this would never have happened. If you had only gone to God and said, God, I need you to help me on this. Help me to understand. Help me to develop. Help me to be better. Your outcome will be so different. But instead, you believe that the dark arts is going to be a good outcome. We've been sent here, or should I say, you asked to come here to make better choices, as well as to have better outcomes, as well as to help others. Have you helped anyone else lately? Because if you're trying to help yourself to a better bank account, trying to hurt or harm another person is never the answer. Let us begin to think before we act, and let us always go to God whenever we have help that is needed. It's so good to be you, and this is Indigo Moon. You have a wonderful one.